Don't we all have this annoying friend who is just always looking amazing? She's never dieting. She kind of exercises, but kind of doesn't really put too much effort in it. And yet she's always lean. I guess you can say fit. I don't want to say skinny, but maybe skinny for some people. And you're mad because you're trying so hard. You're dieting, you're training, you're doing your cardio, you hired a coach, you're tracking your macros. And it just seems like something that is so easy and natural to them is almost unachievable to you, no matter how hard you try. So what is the secret? What can you do to really kind of get closer to being effortless at maintaining your ideal body weight and staying relatively lean while just strength training and doing cardio for fun and enjoyment? Let's dive into this. My name is Katya. I'm a coach and a powerlifting athlete. I help women maintain their ideal body weight if they're already there and get to their ideal physique if they are not there yet. So I built strength training programs. I've been doing this for almost 7 years now. I've trained almost 600 clients. And I work with Alexi Bakhirov, who's a 5 times Arnold Cup champion. We have trained many athletes combined and dealt with somebody who is a really tough gainer, who is a really tough, like, fat loser. We've dealt with people of different demographics and personalities. And I'm going to share all of my secrets of what really adds to staying effortless at maintaining your strength and a relatively lean body. I have had a couple friends in high school who seemed to kind of effortlessly maintain their body weight. And I got in touch with one of them recently. We're both mothers. We were just chit-chatting about what we do when we're kind of sad and depressed or like overwhelmed. And I asked her what she does. And she told me she would like to spend some time alone usually. She would like to read. She likes doom scrolling. Or never, I feel like almost nobody is like protected from that. So she likes to watch some social media feeds. She watches TV occasionally. But none of those activities revolved around food. And I asked her, like, aren't you just gravitating to open your fridge in the middle of the night if you're frustrated, like your kid's not sleeping, or like you haven't worked enough? Now you're like working at night, making up for what you didn't have time to do during the day. Don't you just want to snack on something? And she's like, why would I want to snack? I'm not hungry. The question almost baffled her. And I am an eating disorder recovered person. I used to do this more. I used to want to like munch on something when I was bored or when I was sad, or essentially just wanted to eat my emotions away. That concept was like so foreign to her. So I was like, that is very interesting. Indeed, why do we eat when we're not hungry? Well, the thing is because society kind of markets that we should eat our emotions away, right? On TV, you see people are like so sad and now they're eating ice cream and they're happy, or, you know, somebody's munching on some chips and they're always surrounded with joyful people and friends, and they're watching their favorite team play and win, and it's all cheerful stuff. So we're really looking to buy that emotion by eating those chips, but it doesn't work. All you're buying is extra fat layers. If those are excess calories on your plate, we don't become instantly happier if we put something in our mouth. Feel free to insert any lewd jokes in the comments if you feel like at this time code. Let me know what emotions you normally try to eat away if you notice that you're sad, you're depressed, you're lonely, etc. People eat, people drink alcohol, people smoke, people do drugs, people do all kinds of negative behaviors that affect them badly in the long run. So excess munching is one of them. And a lot of the times, as an eating disorder recovered person, I've thought that, okay, maybe if I just want to munch, I can get myself like a plate of salad, a plate of cucumbers. I would usually get like those romaine salads, split them onto the separate leaves, and I would have a huge bunch of romaine, and I would, work, be sad and lonely, munch on my romaine salad. And it only got me so far. And the reason was that I was getting a Band-Aid solution to what needed to be a behavior fix. I wasn't fixing the core issue. I wasn't fixing the habit and the pattern. My habit was to reach for food. And that pattern was repeating over and over again when a certain emotion overwhelmed me. And if I did not have romaine lettuce or cucumbers or whatever low calorie food on demand, I would eat whatever is available wherever I'm at in the world, right? Ice cream, chips, whatever, high calorie, super tasty vegan snacks tended to catch my eye. Having been at home so long, for such long hours with the baby and working, basically gym being the only time that I'm out of the house, I really recognize that fixing this behavior is not going to come from replacing the food. It is going to come with dealing with the feelings that I feel and being gentle to myself and letting myself feel the feelings and realize like, it's okay. Those are just feelings. They come and go. I've worked with a therapist plenty to realize that feelings are not me. They are something that I experience, and that feelings are also something that you experience, and you will stop experiencing them and experience new feelings. You have a wide palette of feelings that can come and go. So you can just wait them out and try to cheer yourself up in different manners. We all are sometimes sad. It is not normal to be super jovial all the time. We all are sometimes angry. It is necessary to recognize that dealing with that via eating food or doing some other behavior that could be destructive is probably not the best idea. So introducing some new habits, I would say it takes about 2 months to really break the pattern and start thinking naturally about doing this new thing instead of this old thing. For example, when I lived alone before I got married, I lived next to a beautiful park. So whenever I started getting sad or going down the depressive thinking, I would grab my dog and go for a walk. And she's always really happy to go for a walk, and that made me happy. It didn't have to be a long walk. It could be 5 or 10 minutes, and instantly it was like breaking the pattern, behavior fix. Now, when I'm stuck at home with a kid or working, the fridge is right next to me. Tasty food that I've made for myself and for the family, it is right next to me almost all of the time. So I found myself kind of sliding down the old patterns, and you can regress anytime, no matter how cured you are from your eating disordered behaviors. I feel like you're never really free from them. If you've ever had them, kind of like in the background for the rest of your life, unfortunately. I told my husband that I don't want to gain too much weight post pregnancy. I want to stay in my weight category for powerlifting. Kind of important since it's a weight class sport, and it's something that allows me to not attach the value onto my weight, but kind of attach the external need to stay a certain body weight. That was really healthy. And I would tell my husband, it's hard for me to say no when you make me stuff. It's easy for me to just not eat extra carbs or extra things or not munch on things. But if I'm working and he sees that I haven't eaten for a while, he would bring me some nuts and fruits, and I would eat them, and it's a sweet gesture, and those are healthy foods, right? But if they were over my calorie limit for the day and I wouldn't track them, I would just work and eat and be like, oh shit, I ate whatever I didn't plan. Well, I guess I don't want to eat less next day, but I guess the progress is slowing down. So I asked him not to bring me food, and if he would offer me food, that it would be, something more high protein, something more high fiber, rather than hey, I want to make ramen tonight, a big thing of ramen. It's so hard for me to say no when I know the person I love is doing this for me, and he's doing this out of the kind of his heart. So I needed to get some external help, and I needed to just keep the snacks away from the house. So I would keep the foods that are very difficult to stop eating away from the house. Salted nuts, chips, protein bars, or super tasty breads. I would buy unroasted, unsalted nuts, raw nuts, harder to munch on. Instead of candy, we would have dried fruits, dried apples, my favorite, prunes, dried apricots. Yes, they are high calorie, but for me personally, they're very easy to just eat a bunch of because there are no bad foods. Like bread's not bad for you. Protein bars and fruits and nuts, they're not bad, but they're high calorie and they're really easy to eat too much of. And it only takes me like 250 to 500 calories a day to go over my calorie goal. And then I'm like an extra pound at the end of the week. Those things are super unnoticeable. It's basically a tablespoon of oil, just a tablespoon throughout the day, plus a slice of bread. That's all that it takes for me to slow down with like my weight loss progress. Point number one, only eating when you're hungry. So separating eating based on other feelings. And point number two is use your loved ones, or if you live alone, like use yourself to get some kind of external help, not continuing to munch on things that are high calorie and eventually lead to staying away from your goals, lead to slowing down your progress. Tip number three is stop eating when you're not hungry anymore. It is really difficult for us to think, am I hungry? Am I hungry? Oh, I'm not hungry anymore. I should stop eating. And then kind of just leave like 2 spoons of soup in the bowl, or eat like half a candy, especially with tasty foods, especially with like foods that increase your serotonin and dopamine levels. Like you look at it, you know how tasty it is, you start eating. And I feel like the amount of pleasure you get with something, super tasty that you love, such as like vegan burgers, I don't know, vegan shish kebab, pizza, at least for me, those are the foods. I look at it and it almost like I feel more pleasure before I take the first bite. And then I take the first bite, it's the best bite. And then the pleasure decreases with every next bite. So it is very hard for me not to finish the thing, as if somebody's going to take away my food and I'm going to starve. I feel like it's something that is almost ingrained in us, right? When there was lack of food way back when, we would eat a lot and then be hungry for a while, then eat a lot and be hungry for a while. So our hardware is too old to really process the hunger cues really well, right? Our software has developed faster than our hardware, right? Our bodies. So our brains are smarter than our body can recognize the signals that the brain is sending a lot of the times. And well, on top of that, we already talked about the habits and the patterns. It seems like, how are you going to stop yourself if you almost finished that burger, right? Like, are people going to look at you weird? Well, it's tasty. You don't know next time you're going to go get a vegan burger. Like where I live, they're hard to come by. So why don't you just finish the thing? And if you really want to like stay in your ideal body forever, if you want to stay lean and fit for a long period of time, you need to get rid of those kind of societal expectations, whatever somebody told you should do. You need to just be in tune with your hunger cues, and that's it. And it's interesting that, well, I train a lot of clients, I coach a lot of clients with nutrition. It has nothing to do with being optimal. Life is not optimal. So a lot of the times when somebody signs up, they're like, hey, Katya, like, calculate optimal macros for me. Let's get this optimal nutrition plan down, and I'm going to eat this way and that way. And a lot of the times we kind of disregard our desires and hunger cues. We're like, all right, it's time to eat. I guess I should eat. And that almost like improves the chances of disordered eating arising, because you're breaking the old like pleasure patterns of how you used to consume food and when and see food for what is optimal. So I almost think like that your optimal diet that some other person, a coach, designed is almost harmful, because it doesn't leave room for you to really like feel the hunger and realize what you want to eat and then eat that. Now, being in your ideal body a lot of the times means being leaner than is natural for your body, than your body is comfortable at. So for a lot of people, it means more cognitive restraint and more limitations than staying eating disorder free and being a little bigger, a little plumper, but having really, really good hunger cues and when to stop eating cues and patterns around eating. And that's just the reality that I'm going to warn you with and leave you to digest, because I do not have a solution for this. If you have a solution for this, please leave it in the comments. But what I found is those are kind of two different things. And if you've seen bodybuilders, they don't stay lean year round. When I was bodybuilding, I thought it was possible. Well, shocker, it's not possible. You get back to your little muscular, but covered with a little layer of fat state for the rest of the year, and only really lean out to peak shape for the competitions. So I think it's really important to recognize what's that like leanness that is so hard for you to maintain, that your hunger cues just start screaming at you, and your optimization starts to corrupt your life, that you naturally just think about, munching here and there way too much. You think about food obsessively, and you're sliding into the unhealthy eating patterns that weren't there before. Find a balance of what is a nice way how you can eat enough protein and have like 3 square meals a day, or 2 or 4, however many is comfortable for you. Get rid of those like patterns such as, oh, I'm sad, I'm gonna grab this, I haven't had enough food out the day, I can't stop thinking about food. So taking care of your body is always a balance, and it's something that sometimes it's hard to find by yourself. If you need help, I'm very happy to hop on a quick half-an-hour brainstorming call with you. You can schedule that at the link in the description. We can just chat, and you can tell me what your problems are, and I can help you make a plan on how to progress from there, regardless if you want to get to your ideal body weight, if you want to get to your ideal physique, compete in powerlifting or bodybuilding. Goals are different. I'm happy to help with what I can. Let's get you feeling more confident in what you're doing in the gym. So let me know if this video was useful. Feel free to share any personal stories in the comments. I read all of the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.